Assalamu alaikum, and almost very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In 2006, in a very hot summer day, actually I found myself in a crowded room, a meeting room, in one of our oil and gas operating facilities. It was really full. Every important person in the facility was there. In fact, we had the director of the facility, the managers for the operation, the maintenance, engineering. I had even the reliability people, inspection. Every important SME in that facility was in that meeting. And the director asked me a very simple question, or a direct question. What is this life cycle reliability and integrity solution you are talking about or you are offering, and what type of benefits or what's in it for us? To give you some background, by that time I was a junior engineer supporting a cross-functional team that was evaluating and promoting life cycle reliability and integrity solutions. So, and that night or that day, actually, the chairman of that group did not show or was not able to make it. The SMEs, reliability SMEs, integrity, none of those guys showed up. It was only myself. I had actually to stand up and answer that question. And my answer was the following. I told him the life cycle reliability and integrity solution is a solution that will help you remove the silos between groups and applications within your facility. It will help you eventually improve let's say, your reliability and efficiencies, reduce the cost, specifically, for example, or for instance, the maintenance cost, as well as help you avoid unplanned shutdowns. So, by show of hands, how many of you agree with that definition? Do you really think that is a good definition? Or let's say answer for that question? Is it general or specific? Almost, honestly, personally, I hear that answer all the time since that day until today. But it might not be very convincing to the operation people or the management. They really need to see the real benefit, right? General answers are good. It will help you so and so. But eventually, you would like to see the value. You would like to realize it. And that is really the big challenge when it comes to operating technologies, applications, and solutions. The fact you see me standing in front of you today, actually, I was able to survive that day. And a big part of my career was trying to answer that question in a convincing way. All right? So over the years, I developed actually a good interaction and experience with these solutions. And it will cover, or let's say constitute my talk today, which will be divided into 4 main components. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is the Plant.Digital, which is a company, a new company joint venture, that is also established to help answering that questions or realizing the value and the benefits of these or such solutions. The second part I would like to talk about is what we call, or our signature solution or design, which is called the IMAMS, the Integrated Manufacturing Operation Management Solution. The third part of my talk is about going from the IMAMS itself and drilling down into the predictive maintenance concept. Predictive maintenance is really great. Everybody is using it. It is easy to understand, to apply, and the benefits are real. But also, we would like to show how we integrated with the asset management framework in order to really to squeeze the higher value or more benefits from such solutions. Last but not least, I'm going actually to talk about a unique model or concept we used to analyze and give you a very accurate value estimation of your for a specific facility based on your data and uncertainties within that facility. So the first part now is Plant.Digital. What is Plant.Digital? Plant.Digital is a joint venture between Aramco and Honeywell. In fact, it was established under Aramco Nama'at Industrial Investment Program. That is actually a very ambitious program that focuses on developing strategic partnerships in order to diversify as well as develop their capabilities within the region in order to serve our industries. And specifically, of course, our interest is more toward oil and gas and petrochemicals. And as you can see, there are different streams under that program when it comes to cybersecurity, IT, digitalization, and so on. So Plant.Digital covers a good part of the digitalization capabilities as well as the IT and cybersecurity. Now, what we do and why we do it and how we do it, what we do is basically we provide these solutions to the industry, help with the scoping, implementation, even taking it, eventually maintaining these solutions in order to generate value. What we do simply, or why we do it, is to answer these questions, or the first question I had at the beginning. We really would like to know how much actually I'm going to improve my reliability, or how much I'm improving my profitability and productivity. And eventually, as you can see here, we would like to achieve the high level or high score in operational excellence. So this is a good thing for us as a service provider as well as our customers and partners. So we would like to create value to everyone. And how we do it? Basically three things. First of all, we are capitalizing on the IMOMs, the concept that was transferred to us from Aramco as part of the IP for this new venture in order to help us actually start implementing and proposing such solution. The other thing is to capitalize on the experience we have from implementing a number of digital projects within Aramco. And also, not only that, we are adding our innovative actually touch or fingerprints by providing a unique models for the support and adoption and so on. Now that was the first part. Now the second part, what is the IMOM? IMOM, if you are familiar with ISA 95, which defines the interaction or integration between the control level and as well as the enterprise, there are a number of business functions, 5 actually business functions here. We have the production operation management, reliability and integrity management, inventory, regulatory compliance, as well as reliability, or as well as quality. Under each one of those, you will see a number of solutions. What happens in reality, these solutions are implemented as standalone solutions. There are huge overlaps between them. And of course, it depends on the scope. How do you really scope these solutions? And in order to name them something. For example, when it comes, let's say, since we are talking about reliability and integrity here, you have a number of solutions, a solution related to the maintenance and turnaround scheduling. That is a specialized or a specific solution. There is digital twin. There is asset performance management, could be a bigger umbrella, but it depends also how you define it. Lifecycle reliability and integrity could be covering only specific reliability issues or asset integrity issues. Online fault modeling, predictive analytics, it could have also the predictive maintenance under it. So number of solutions, it depends on the customer, or let's say the facility, how they would like to scope their solution, how they would like to really to approach an integrated solution for their needs or based on their scope. Now, this is all good, but there are a lot of inefficiencies here. You are having multiple places for the KPIs. You don't have standardized visualization and so on. So what we are actually adding here, we have two-dimensional actually enablers. One is related to the integration. No matter or regardless of the integration concept you are talking about here, whether it is software-oriented architecture or other actually more innovative ways nowadays, we are trying to provide a single actually point for providing these services, whether it is messaging or related to the database, manufacturing master data management, or let's say there are cloud services, or you need some cybersecurity issues. So everything actually can be managed through the integration dimension. The other dimension is related to the visualization. Visualization, eventually, you are not going to need, for example, multiple management of change, for example, tools, or workflow, or let's say alert and notifications for each one of those single solutions. No, what we are actually giving you, one single point of truth that will help you to realize or get the functions you are looking for with the minimal cost in a simpler way. And since our focus, again, now is today in this conference about reliability and integrity management, I'm going to actually give you an example, which is the third part of my presentation, when we drill down here into the predictive analytics or predictive maintenance solution. So for predictive maintenance, it's a very nice application. Personally, I loved it because we evaluated many technologies. At least I can tell you 14 or 15 different technologies. The thing that it works, and the value are real, and the benefits are real there. And it is very straightforward, conceptually. You have the asset data, and then you have the knowledge. You need to capture the experiences. Once you are able to collect all of this information, you can model the faults, the failures analysis, for example. Once you have the historical data, you can build your data-driven models in order to have predictive models. And also, you can add to that some of the important KPIs, for example, efficiencies and so on, or general key operating parameters, for instance. So even the prediction models will be able to reproduce some of these parameters to tell you if you are really running as normal operation or there is some drift or something wrong. So that is good. That will give us very good, actually, outcome. However, it's not enough for us because it answers only one part of the equation. It will tell you, okay, if you need to take some predictive actions here or not. But there are still other parts because not everything inside your plant or your, let's say, facility is related to prediction, right? So we have the old ways of PM or, let's say, even run to fail or even more prescriptive capabilities. So all of those actually different cases require additional or more integration into other things. So predictive maintenance is great, but by itself, it will not really help me to have a comprehensive or holistic, let's say, asset management strategy. It will not help me to link it to the reliability and failure analysis. It is challenging, or still there are other components when it comes to asset health and integrity. So that in order to realize higher value and integrate it into the full system, we really need to actually have this approach, or the one we do usually when we have a customer or, let's say, a case. We try actually to help them realize the value from the solution itself, and as well as from the integrated solution as a whole. So it's a holistic approach. It's not only for that, let's say, single application in the plant, but also it will help you with everything around it. So basically, for the solution itself, very key item here is to enable the users. Honestly, the user, usually they are not against any new things if they understand them. And not only that, if they are prepared and ready and they see how this new tool or this application make their life much easier, in fact, they are going to ask for it. I have many cases. Some of my actually customers, or let's say the people or the partners we worked with them, we forget that we installed the solution for them. After a while, they will call us, okay, we are not receiving notification. What was happened to the notification, the solution? Because they already get used to the solution. They see the value of it. So once you prepare them, you explain them, and provide them the needed training, which is a big issue, honestly, in operating facilities because of the changing and the environment there, and a lot of people actually leave, and you have a very dynamic environment. So you really need always to be ready to provide the needed training in order to have your people, to have the buy-in from the users. In addition to that, when it comes to the solution itself, you don't have really to have that huge, complex solution. Sometimes it's too costly as well as too complex, some of these IMAM solutions, because they are not really meant, or not every actually solution, or let's say not one size fits all. So every case or facility, you have to craft the right solution for them. And most importantly, you need to integrate it to the day-to-day activities, or in a simple way to business processes of that facility. Now, the last thing here, when you have them all together, you will be able to show the value, not only by combining, enabling the users and giving them a reasonable, or let's say good usable application, but also you will be able to show them, for example, if I catch this problem with one of the assets, I will be able to I'll show you how much I saved on the maintenance, for example. Or I have an issue with this meter. How really does it impact, or let's say help me improve, or help me actually capture more value? So once you establish that, you also help with them setting a good actually adoption program. You will be able to generate, or let's say we see it in clearly, you will be able to capture great value out of that. Last part of my presentation is related to the benefit estimation. And this is a challenge always with everyone, honestly, in this business. As I mentioned at the beginning, 20, 25 years, always we have these issues. So when you have a number of applications, usually there are different applications. And everybody will claim the credit. I will try to say, okay, my solution detected this failure, for example, in advance. Or this solution detected the other issue. In fact, they work all together, and they are like in the control system, multiple layers. If one of them does not catch it, the other one will catch it. So you'll have the integrated solution. It will help you to really not to miss anything almost, if it is configured the right way. So generally speaking, when you go to a consultant and say, ask them what are the benefits of these solutions, they will give you some numbers. Based on their experiences, it will improve the availability, reduce the cost of maintenance. It will help you actually also reduce the unplanned downtime, and most importantly, improve the decision quality. Now, that is good. We can do this in many cases. However, if you really would like to have a very specific number for your facility or your organization, we actually have a solution for that. We developed a decision analysis model that captures the uncertainties and the costs within your operation, and including, of course, maintenance and historical data. And we can give you a good estimation how much you can save, or how does it really worth to you, these solutions. And this is just an example, a real example we did for one of the facilities where we had like 5 years data of their maintenance data cost and associated work order information. And we were able to show them for one unit how, for example, the turbine, in average, cost of maintaining a turbine, a compressor, a motor, with associated energy-related cost. It was a steam turbine. So you can see easily here the difference between the cost, the potential of the cost without a solution, or let's say without an IMAM solution, and with it. So basically, it reduces the variance here. So you reduce the uncertainty. Instead of having the potential to lose $1 million, for example, for that compressor, if you leave it, for example, for more or higher level of damage, you will be able, of course, if you maintain it the right way, you will be able to reduce the average cost of the maintenance. So we developed, like, even for the worst case and best case scenarios, just to show you, for example, if you continue business as usual, the upper level or limit of the uncertainty and the cost is very high, while the lower limit, while the other side, when you implement these solutions, you will be able to reduce these solutions. All right, so in summary, I just covered these four items. Talked about or introduced Plant.Digital, what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. We showed you what is the idea behind the iMoms integration and visualization. We showed an example from predictive maintenance and how it is related to the other asset management to close the benefit loop. And last thing was to show you a very quick example of the decision analysis model that will help us capture realistic values. That concludes my presentation. I'll be more than happy to see you later on if you can have time to pass by our booth there.
Thank you, Rayan.